My doctor told me they would not help me because I was too fat.
Hey honeys, welcome back to the channel. Please don't forget to subscribe and share this video. So in our today's conversation, we are going to listen to the experiences people had with Dr. Fat shaming them. So please, we are not trying to share this video because we are trying to body shame anybody, no. We are sharing this video because we want to learn. So kindly watch the following videos together and I'll be back with my own comment. Please don't go.
This is for all the women who are fat shamed when they go to the doctor. Number 1, request that your BMI index stays on your chart, but they don't give a label to it because the labels are archaic and misogynistic, and quite frankly, they're bullshit. So I'm just going to tell you a little story. I don't care if my BMI is 31, but apparently that categorizes me as morbidly obese, which then triggers the insurance companies to decide whether or not I can obtain life-saving care if I'm dying from being fat, okay? So I spent 20 minutes berating him about how archaic and misogynistic the BMI index was, and I requested that he remove the words morbidly obese from my chart. I didn't want him in there because it wasn't accurate. I'm not rolling into your office. I'm not being wheeled in there by a wheelchair. I'm not on my 600-pound friend. I'm not dying from being fat, so I want it off. Do you know he took it off? I'm just saying, women, and I'm sure men experience it too, but not as much as women, being fat shamed in the doctor's office. Take back your power. Tell them you want it off your chart, and it is no longer on my chart.
Going to the doctor as a fat person is a waste of time. I have a rash, and apparently that must mean I have diabetes. I see an endocrinologist every 6 months. I'm good, girly. And when she couldn't diagnose me with diabetes and say that I have a rash because of that, she goes, well, this happens because you don't clean yourself properly. I'm fat. I'm not dirty. Went on to tell me that I have to use a blow dryer on a low setting to dry myself as a fat person. She said people who got folds need to use a blow dryer to dry off. I've been living in this fat body for decades, and I've never used a blow dryer, and I've never gotten a rash. But go off, sis. Go off.
Anyone who's ever been fat will tell you that doctors will blame literally anything on being fat and will often deny testing on that basis. So what do you do about it? Make them mark it in your chart that they denied you based on your weight. Chances are they will go ahead and just give you the test because they are real scared of a discrimination lawsuit.
Is anyone else having like immense trouble trying to find a new doctor? I have a doctor right now who basically fat shames me every time I come in and makes me feel bad for gaining weight, even when she has put me on weight loss medication. Basically, I need to find a new doctor because my doctor right now sucks, and I called a bunch of places this afternoon. A bunch of them aren't taking new patients, and a bunch of them are not taking anybody until like July of next year. I just don't understand how like this is happening. Like, it doesn't make any sense that you can't take patients until July, but you have openings. I don't know. Has anybody had any luck finding a doctor in the Boston area? Because this is crazy.
And this is the problem with our medical system. Nobody believes you because they just see you come into the doctor's office and you're overweight. Oh, that's why. That's why you're sick. That's why you're unhealthy. That's why you have pain. It's because you're fat. It's because you're overweight. Why don't we dig into the deeper issues? And why don't we actually listen to our patients? This is the most frustrating thing. So lady, Tammy, Karen, Tammy, whatever you want to be called, why don't you go look in the comments and see the hundreds of women that are claiming the exact same thing, that doctors are telling them they have sinus infections because they're overweight, that they have all these different issues because they're overweight. Being overweight isn't good. It's not good for your health. We already acknowledge that. We don't have to like keep pounding on that. But we are going to doctors to get help for other issues in our bodies, and we're not being listened to because we're overweight, and we're just being told, just lose weight. Are you actually eating right? Are you walking? Like, okay, that is not even why I went to the office, was not for my weight. I went there to go get an issue resolved with my tailbone and a possible tumor. This does not have to do with my weight. So why are we bringing weight into it? Why are we fat shaming? Like, she was looking me up and down, telling me like, you should go on a GLP-1. I'm like, I'm already on one. Read my file. You know what I mean? And like, do you actually exercise? And I was like, yes, I do. I walk at least 5 miles a day in my neighborhood. Are you sure? Why don't you check my Apple Health and we'll see. But this is what is so frustrating about our medical system. We need to be heard, not just seen. And I think that is the key. You will see me when I walk in the room that I'm fat, but why don't you actually listen to me? Look at my blood work, look at my x-rays and MRIs and all that stuff, and actually listen to what I'm saying, because losing weight isn't just always the cure-all for every single issue in your body. And so, Tammy, you don't believe me, and you said that's just your honest truth, and you can keep on believing that, and I don't really care what you have to say, because I know my story's true, and this isn't the first time this has happened to me, and thousands of other women agree with me.
My doctor told me they would not help me because I was too fat. So let me tell you the story, okay? It started off with a trip to the ER. I went to the ER because I was having terrible pain in my side. Come to find out I had a huge cyst on my ovaries, and they said it was probably about to burst and told me to follow up with my gynecologist. So I called my doctor, and I found out my doctor had retired and had been replaced by a new doctor, but they said they could get me in, and so they made me an appointment the next week. Now at this point, I was in pain every single day from this thing, and I really wanted to find out what was going on and see if I could get some help. So I go in that day to the doctor, all right? First of all, I go on in, and they're like, okay, remove your clothing. Here's a little thing, this little paper gown to put on, all right? So I put on this paper gown. Now, I gotta go to part 2.
Fat girls. If you're not a fat girl, move along. This is for my fat girls. This is the 3rd doctor in a row to tell me that I'm obnoxiously healthy. Not obnoxiously healthy for a fat girl, like literally just obnoxiously healthy. I started going to the doctor consistently 2 years ago because I was trying to solve a problem that didn't need to be solved. I was like, why am I fat? Why do I work out and I'm still fat? Like, I don't get it. Like, what's wrong with me? I must be unhealthy. So I pressed my doctor. I said, I do the Stairmaster 5 times a week. I weight lift. I work out like crazy. I eat okay. Why don't I look like it? So then they did a test, and then they found out that my testosterone levels are a little bit higher than normal. And the crazy thing is that my testosterone levels have probably been higher than normal my whole life, or since puberty, because I've been fat since puberty. I lost 70 pounds once, and I was on birth control, and I didn't correlate like, oh, like you have a hormonal imbalance, that's why you lost 70 pounds when you're on birth control. So I've been to 3 doctors, and they have all stated that I'm very, very healthy. My blood work came back, and they were like, your liver's good, your kidneys are good, everything's so good. So just because you're fat doesn't mean you're lazy and unhealthy. That's not what that means. And of course, I'm going to continue doing what I've been doing, which is working out consistently, eating healthy-ish, and moving forward with my life. There's no point of me changing or making all these changes just to fit into beauty societal standards. If a man says that they want a healthy woman, then they want me, period. The only thing that came back abnormal was my vitamin D levels were really, really low, which is genetic because my mom and my dad both have really low vitamin D levels. And then when I was looking at my lab work myself, I was like, well, my cholesterol looks a little bit high. And they were like, no, like your cholesterol's normal. I was like, oh, period. I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, you need to stop eating cheeseburgers. I'm not even 500 cheeseburgers away from a heart attack. So all right, so I hope that makes some of you guys feel better. I mean, of course, I've been working out consistently for like ever. I'm probably one of the healthiest people in my family when it comes to like exercise, but you know, your journey's your journey. You want to make sure you go with your doctor and figure out like what's good for you. But for me, I'm just drinking my protein shake and living my life.
As a fat person, I often dread medical appointments because of blatant medical fat phobia. The last OB appointment I went to, the provider blamed everything on my weight and told me that I needed to go on a medication. This OB appointment that I just went to, I've been dreading, and the provider was amazing. She asked me what my pronouns are. She asked me about my name. She just was like, great.
Is anyone else having like immense trouble trying to find a new doctor? I have a doctor right now who basically fat shames me every time I come in and makes me feel bad for gaining weight, even when she has put me on weight loss medication. Basically, I need to find a new doctor because my doctor right now sucks, and I called a bunch of places this afternoon. A bunch of them aren't taking new patients, and a bunch of them are not taking anybody until like July of next year. I just don't understand how like this is happening. Like, it doesn't make any sense that you can't take patients until July, but you have openings. I don't know. Has anybody had any luck finding a doctor in the Boston area? Because this is crazy.
I went to the doctor today as a person with autoimmunity, and I want to tell you about my experience. I want to normalize this shit so that we know what's going on when we go in there, especially if you have kind of elusive symptoms that aren't things that fit into a textbook of the regular, Western medicine medical school. Within the first 15 minutes of meeting this lady and establishing care with a new primary care physician, we're already talking about me having diabetes and me being fat, and what am I doing about my weight, and am I concerned about my weight, and has weight always been an issue for me? And I'm like, that's not why I'm here today. I'm here because I need to establish care with you. I need to have some panels run. My other doctor, who is wonderful and I love, and I've been seeing for many years, here's a panel she wants me to run. I need to go through insurance. So I need you guys to be working together so that I can have the most ultimate care that I can get, the best care I can get. I trust that doctor, and I need your help as a part of the system. She obviously has her own opinions, and so she, wants to cover her butt. Totally get it. So we're going to screen me for diabetes and high cholesterol and all the things. She scoffed when I told her that I have been walking about 10,000 steps a day. She scoffed. Like, there's no way without you'd be losing weight. That was the total vibe. And it was like, yeah, I really wish I was losing weight too with that. But my body is doing great. I feel stronger. I'm more flexible. I feel healthier. My lung capacity. I sang yesterday in church and I really noticed a difference. I'm like, oh yeah, I've been walking. I can feel it in my voice. Like, all of these things that were so positive. Then I have this lady basically being like, yeah, but you're fat. When are we going to get to a place in our culture where we don't automatically assume that somebody who is bigger doesn't take care of themselves? I'm ready for that. And also the elusive symptoms of autoimmunity and just passing right over them, where I'm like, a lot of people with Hashimoto's have frozen shoulder, and I'm worried about my shoulder, and I'm worried about, she's like, well, you could just have arthritis. Your body is carrying around a lot of extra weight. And it's like, oh my God, you just blamed my shoulder on me being fat too. Thanks. It's not okay. And it happens all the time. And I know I'm just one drop in an ocean of dysfunction in our medical system. But I just hope that stay strong, y'all. Stay strong about what you do for your body and your self-care, and don't let them ramrod you. You're worthy.
Well, after listening to all people, kindly share your experience in the comment section below. Because there is always a thin line between giving medical advice and fat shaming, and too many doctors cross it. When a patient walks in with a cord, joint, or even broken bone, somehow the conversation will turn into, please lose weight. Well, it is frustrating and demeaning at the same time. Instead of treating the concern, why turning the issue into losing weight? Did I come here to lose weight? One, I already know that I'm fat. Why should you remind me over the same issue? Well, it is so frustrating. Please, doctors, kindly just give medical advice when someone comes to see you. Thank you so much for being part of this conversation. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video. See you in the next video, and stay safe.